Fathers, they are absolutely there to make all the sacrifices for the family. It's a dad thing. Join me and Jose as we are going to discuss his very unique fatherhood story.
So, hi everyone. You know me as the person behind Bits and Pieces Ginagmay at Ginagko. And I'm very lucky for our Father's Day episode. I'll be joined by a father who has a very unique experience and story that he would like to share with us right now. So, since I'm done introducing myself, Jose will be introducing himself to us. So, can you tell us a short story about yourself, Jose? Where are you coming from? Do you have kids or do you have grandchildren?
Okay. Okay. Thank you very much, Yvonne, for having me. Thank you for the audience for hearing me. My name
Mm-hmm.
is Jose Pereira. I'm born in Venezuela, but I became U.S. citizen like a decade and a half ago. So I live more than 50 years here in the U.S. I live in Houston. I'm a former oil and gas executive. I worked like 35 years in the oil industry. And at the end of my career, I became a CEO of a multinational oil and gas here in
Mm-hmm.
Houston. And, I am a regular guy with a family. I have three kids, a long term marriage of 36 years, and I have three grandsons also. And
Oh.
and yeah, so I have a wonderful family, but I went through an unfortunate event that
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to narrate after this that happened to me that changed my life. Okay, so but that's my introduction.
Mm-hmm. Actually, yes, Jose, this is what we are going to be talking about first. Your very unique story and an unfortunate event that you mentioned to me. So, can you give us a glimpse or can you tell us the story of what happened, why you were held? Because I've already read this in the news, and even some of the audiences were also like shocked of what happened. So, in your own perspective and your story, can you tell us what happened, why you were wrongfully detained in Venezuela?
Yeah, we became victim of something that now we are advocating to stop. That is what is called the hostage diplomacy. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
we were, as I said, I was a CEO of a multinational. That the owner of the multinational, the headquarters are in Venezuela because Venezuela is a oil country, and this is
Mm-hmm.
the PDVSA, the is the owner, that's the Venezuelan state-owned company. So we were called to a last-minute meeting in November of 2017, and we didn't see nothing wrong because it was
Uh-huh.
a meeting for a business, a meeting to talk about budget, basically, and it was very normal at that time frame.
Mm.
So we went to that meeting. We received a call like a Saturday to go on Sunday. So we traveled on Sunday, and myself and my five top executives that are also like me, Venezuelan American dual citizens.
Mhm.
But the case was that everything was a setup. There was having some issues between the U.S. and Venezuela, and
Mm.
even if we were aware that something was happening, we really never thought that that will affect us because we were not politicians. We were our
Mm.
businessmen, and we thought that there was things related to the politician. But there is the problem with the hostage diplomacy, that you can get caught in the middle of some confrontation between two countries, and you're a regular citizen, but are in the wrong place in the wrong moment. So that's
Mm.
what happened to us. We became to be in the wrong place in the wrong moment. We were in a very large meeting. There was like a 1,000 people in the main room on the headquarters, and
Mm.
we were ready to make a presentation, and then suddenly appear a bunch of guys with dressed like Robocops,
Oh.
and there is that they identify like the counterintelligence police of the country, and then they got us. They put us some bizarre charge of espionage,
Oh.
treason, corruption, embezzlement, a lot of things, and
Wow.
the truth of the matter is that the same day in the night we were in jail, and
Mm.
we thought, to tell you the truth, that that was a mistake because
Mm.
we didn't know what was going on, but of course we said we didn't do nothing wrong. So like 2 days after that, we were gonna be headed to be presented to in the courtroom. And at that time is that I knew that what were the charges they putting to us, and we said this is a mistake. This cannot be happening to us.
Mm,
But the problem is that everything was fake. Everything was a setup because what they wanted is to have us there to get us like a political pawns and bargain chip to because they wanted to have some concession for with the U.S. because U.S. was putting at that time a lot of sanctions among Venezuela
mm, mm.
and we became the victims of that situation. And that situation, my audience lasted 5 years. We stayed 5 years, unfortunately, there. We were caught in the middle of the diplomacy uh,
Mm.
turnover. They expelled the ambassador of the U.S. We were left behind. Well, that was became a total nightmare for us at that point.
Wow, that's quite a very very scary story. I just wanted to follow up, Jose. During that time that you were in Venezuela and you were said that you will be having a meeting, are the people or the police that caught you, are they Venezuelan or are they American?
No, they're Venezuelan because that one of the things that we learned, and we're going to talk this. By the way, I have now a LinkedIn account where I have a newsletter where I'm talking extensively about this. I'm going to talk more later.
Mm-hmm.
We're talking about what is the hostage diplomacy. The hostage diplomacy is something where some country is having a problem with another country. Mostly,
Mm,
it's first world country that it can be some political thing, can be
mm.
ideological thing, many things. So
Yes.
they decide to cut an American or the citizen of that country, and they take it like bargain chips, and they
Mm,
put it in jail, and then they negotiate among them. So you became
mm.
like a victim. You became like a human being pawn for
Yeah,
political reasons. So basically, we were literally kidnapped because we were
yeah,
put
yeah.
there. We stayed 10 months without no communication.
Oh
My
my God.
family didn't know where we were. We were disappeared. So we were
Mm.
literally disappeared. Of course, at some point they managed to know where we were, but we didn't have no communication with them. We were put in a room without no windows, no running water, no
Oh
air
my God.
conditioning. No, what was
That's horrible. That's like,
terrible,
yeah,
terrible.
that's like in a movie.
Well. We were living our own scary movie, unfortunately.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. That's like a nightmare that you were living.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
And
yeah. Was
mm,
really a very very bad situation, and the other thing is that we at that point the food was terrible. We
oh
didn't
my
have
God.
medicine. That the amazing we got they stole it. So we didn't have our meds. We didn't have food. The food was so terrible that sometimes I decided not to eat it because it was so terrible.
Oh my God.
Even a dog will not eat that food. So the thing became so bad. We
Mm.
lost 100 pounds, and
Oh,
my other colleagues were starving to death.
oh my God.
They were literally starving to death. You can see the bones. Okay, so
Ah,
our family,
that's so scary.
yeah, our family managed to bring a UN commission. So
Mm,
UN commission to visit us because the US government was trying to negotiate, but there was no communication because the ambassador was expelled. So there was no direct communication. So
mm.
they talked with the UN. The UN went to visit us, and they could obtain that we begin to have medicines and food from the outside. So our
Wow.
family managed to how to bring our food to us. And
Mm.
it could bring food once in a week first, and then every 2 days. It was
Ah.
prepared food. So
Mm.
there's a guy that now is like a brother for me. He began to bring me the food almost every 2 days. That for me was something really great because we managed to put inside the containers of the food. We
Mm.
could introduce letters there, and we began to smuggle letters to my wife.
Oh,
We
wow,
managed
wow.
communication with her,
Oh
and
my God. That's a clever thing. That's a
yeah,
very bright idea.
but was a I can tell you was a very I don't know how to say it. It was something that we did decided to put our life in risk, but we did.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
it
that's
worked.
true.
And it worked. It worked because we and my wife keep doing that almost during 3 years.
Wow,
Almost during,
wow.
yeah. So when I came back in October last year, my wife has like 1,000 letters.
Oh
So
my
that became
God.
and
That
that's the base of my book they already wrote that is in editing in this moment.
wow,
Yeah.
wow. During that time that you were in prison, Jose, was there an instance that maybe some of your colleagues or you were able to experience maybe like torture, or are they punching you, or is it that just you were just starving and you were just put in prison for no reason?
No, 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 no. We didn't receive direct physical torture ourselves, but we saw a
Mm,
lot of physical torture and we received a lot of psychological torture. A
yeah.
lot. We went through a lot of situations that because the intention of them is try to break you. They
Mm,
try to
mm,
break
mm.
you because
Because
they
they're
want.
doing it here. They're doing it here
Yeah.
in your brain.
For example, one thing we didn't have no watch. We had the
Oh,
lights 24/7 turn on. We didn't have no windows, so we didn't know what time was it. So we
yeah,
at some
yeah.
point you got lost. You got lost. You didn't have you don't know what time is. You don't know what day is. You lose the sense of the time at some
Oh
point.
my God.
And we managed to with some socks. We put the socks in our eyes to get sleep. So I learned how to sleep with the light turned on. Okay,
Wow.
and then when after the this commission of the UN came, they
Mm,
began to relax a little bit the situation, and the U.S. government began to do some behind the scene negotiations, and
mm,
that
mm,
for us it made us our value raised a little bit more because we became to be the true bargain chip between the relation between the two countries. Okay,
that's true.
so they decided to relax our things. They were taking videos and photo every day to see what we were doing. We were under
Mm.
cameras, but they begin to allow us to have books. And
Ah,
when
uh-huh.
they allow us to have books, I managed to read books. And there is a book I recommend the people to read it that came to my hands. To tell you the truth, I don't know how. The book is there is a survivor in the concentration camps in World War II. His name is Victor,
Oh,
and the book is A Man in a Search of a Meaning. So
mm,
he in that book narrated how the people could survive in a concentration camp in the Nazis, and they did it because first they believe in God, and you
mm,
can believe in any higher power that is
mm,
something. In our case, we believe in God, and he was a God believer also. So he believed in God, and have a purpose in the life because he developed
mm,
this theory that now is that logotherapy. The logotherapy he developed he there in the concentration camp. So when I read that book, I said, hey guys, we need to survive. So we begin to manage how to do it because we were six. We were at the
mm,
first we were separated, but at some point when they decided to raise the value of us, they put us together. But they
mm,
put
mm.
us in a room of like 100 square foot. It was like living in a closet, but we were the
Oh,
six together.
yeah,
So we
yeah.
managed to have a plan. So
Mm,
we plan to eat, to read, to have exercise,
mm,
to
mm,
pray, to read the Bible. We did that very very tight plan during all the day, and that keep us busy all the day. The six,
mm,
the six of us, we were alone. The six, and
mm,
to do that in a daily basis, and I can tell you, that gave us a lot of hope. It gave us a lot of strength, and we began to do it one day at a time. One day
mm.
in a week, we did it a month, we did it a year, and when the time came, we had 5 years there, and we came back. A-
Wow, wow.
and the day I came back, I always remember my daughter told me, hey, Dad, I saw like you were coming from a vacation because I was so happy. I was happy. So my
Wow.
happy. And she said, hey, she thought that I was going to come broken, but I was happy. I was happy because I went through it. I'm not gonna say that I'm a Superman. Come on,
You're such a brave person, Jose.
huh?
You're such a very brave father.
Well, because I was thinking in my family, I was thinking
Mm,
how I want to tie this to the Father's Day because first of all, I could not do this because if I didn't have my family helping me, my wife and my three kids were all the time there. My eldest son, he literally he moved to Colombia. He moved because Colombia is in the border with Venezuela, and he
mm-hmm,
couldn't go inside Venezuela because was a risk. So what he decided
mm.
to move to Colombia, and he began to provide me food and medicine and all the logistics from there. So literally, he
Wow.
put his life in pause for me.
Mm,
He moved, and he has two kids and his wife. So he was literally working for me. My other son came to work with my wife, and my wife has a small bakery, and he began to work with her. And my other daughter also was helping. So the three literally put their life in pause for me. So my wife
wow.
and my three
Wow.
kids almost decided to concentrate their effort in me because one of the problems that happened with this hostage diplomacy is that not only you go through the process, your family, it's like putting a bomb in the middle of the family because
Mm,
they
mm,
they put their life in pause. My kids said that, for example, they were invited to a movie or to a lunch or a dinner or with some friends, and they said no because they feel guilty. My wife, if some friends invited her to something, she said no. She felt guilty because they think that if they go, they're gonna feel guilty because you're in jail. So this is something terrible for the family.
that's
This
right. That's right.
is
But
totally terrible, totally terrible. And one of the things that I learned, because in the last year, the situation began to evolve. At the beginning, was really from bad to worse, but at some
mm,
point when the talking began to happen, in 2019, 2 years after we were there, our family decided to begin to do a lot of press, medias,
mm,
conference, and you see a lot of press during the 2019 and 2020. There was tons and tons of media talking about us because
mm-hmm.
we became kind of a brand because the press put us the name of Citgo Six, so we
Yeah, yeah,
became
yeah.
the Citgo Six. That was a name that I don't know who put that name, but we were our name became to be the Citgo Six. Every time any U.S. officer, even the president, was talking about us, he
Mm.
referred to us as the Citgo Six. So you can see in the medias, they will never appear my name like Jose Pereira. I will appear always like a Citgo Six. And in the jail,
Yes, yes, yes.
we were called Citgo Six. They say, "Hey, Citgo Six, come here. Hey, Citgo Six." We were called always the Citgo Six. That became my official name. So, they begin to do this pressure with the press. In the last year, there is a office that the U.S. government created that is called the Special Presidential Office for Hostages Affairs, SPIHA,
Mm-hmm.
and they assign an ambassador to leader that office. That is the ambassador Roger Carson. He began to do quietly travels to Venezuela. He did three travels
Mm-hmm.
in December 2021, March 2022, June 2022, and finally he released us in October 1st. So he
Wow.
did four trips to Venezuela, and in the fourth trip he could release it, and we were swapped by two prisoners that,
Mm.
that were nephews of the president of Venezuela. So
Mm.
they landed us in a Caribbean island called San Vicente, and like in a movie, we were swapped there. The two planes
Wow.
came, and then we went to one plane, and the other guys came to the other plane, like the
Oh
movie.
my God.
It
That's
became
real.
like it was like a movie, and
That's
well,
true. That's true.
and and we were headed to a military base here in San Antonio, Texas. We stayed two
Uh-huh.
weeks there with psychologists, therapists. They
Yeah,
were
yeah, yeah.
taking care with us during 2 weeks. And after 2 weeks, I came back to my home in October 10, 2022, and I have like 7 months that I came back, like 7 months.
Wow. So, Jose, I just have like probably one question with everything that happens when you were in prison. Did you ever see someone from the member or from your colleague who really is like about to give up, or is there someone that get like really very frustrated and just really wanted to like be killed or wanted to kill himself and all those things? Was it really something like the worst situation when you were in prison with your some of your colleagues?
Yes, yes, of course. One of the guys that we should have been the Citgo Seven, but one
Mm.
of the guy that died one the first year. He died.
Oh,
He got so depressed that he died.
oh my God.
Being in 1 year there, he died. So the other six, we
Wow.
decided to survive, and we talk among ourselves, and we begin to give us a lot of hope, strength. We were like,
Wow.
band of brothers, supporting each other. If somebody was down, the other were supporting them, and with the six, we did a great job. I'm not gonna say that we didn't have days down because it's difficult to not to be, but we did a lot of support among us, and like 1 month
Mm.
ago, we went to Washington with a meeting because now the beauty of this situation is that our family now are together because the families of like 20 hostages around the world
Mm-hmm.
created a foundation that is called the Bring Our Family Home Foundation. Then now I'm part of the foundation and my family also.
Mm.
That foundation advocates. Hey, yeah, I mean, okay, sorry. I was listening.
Mm.
I miss it because I received a call, sir. And okay, so well, we begin to advocate with this campaign, and we begin to meet the families of several hostages around the world. There are people that
Mm-hmm.
they are kept in China, in Iran, in
In Russia.
Syria, in Russia, in
Mm.
Afghanistan, Myanmar, Cuba, Venezuela.
Mm.
So
Mm-hmm.
we begin to meet the families of all these people and some former hostages, and we realized that this is something that our case was not unique. This is like a copy paste that these regimes are applying because they learn among the other about how do things to obtain favors or to make gain concessions. So
Mm-hmm.
that's so-called hostage diplomacy. Now today, I'm talking about this. I'm talking.
Mm.
I went to a hearing in the House here in the U.S. to talk
Uh-huh.
about this. I have been speaking in some areas about this. I have been writing articles about this. I have a newsletter in my LinkedIn. I invite the people to go to my LinkedIn account and
Mm.
read my newsletter. Today I posted something related to that because I'm educating the people about this because this is something that people believe that it's not going to happen to them. They're wrong. It can happen to
Mm.
anybody because you can be in a family vacation, you can be in a visit of a family, you can be in a business trip like us, you can
That's
be
right.
in
That's
a
right.
in a conference, and you become to be in the wrong place, you can go to jail. I know
That's
people
right.
that have. There's a CEO of a company that has 15 years in Saudi Arabia. There's a businessman that has 10 years in China. There
Oh
is a
my God.
businessman that has 7 years in Iran. There are two lawyers there in Venezuela for more than 2 years. There's some military in Syria lost in action. So there are a lot of people that are kept because this hostage diplomacy. So this is something that we're trying to educate the people. This can happen to anybody.
That's
So
right. That's right.
that so
It's
that
not.
so
Yeah,
that
that's
that that
correct.
that is one of my thing today. Do that advocacy, and the other thing that I'm trying to do because when I came back and I understood about the process we went through, and we began to go to therapists and psychology.
Mm.
I stayed within a trauma facility because this is a very unique traumatic situation. I can tell you
That's
this is
right.
something
That's
that
right.
I'm going to talk extensively of this in my book, but this is something that is extreme where we survive. But the way we handle it, the six, the way we did it, I have been always a guy with a plan mindset. Okay, so we begin to investigate. We begin to
Mm.
think about it. And we put in place a program that we're going to launch now. We decided to call Life Pills for a Surviving Guide in this LPSG, because we believe that the use of this technique, you can help others to survive any adversity.
Mm,
And I
that's
have been
right.
talking on this in my newsletters, because
That's right.
I went through extreme adversity, but you can be in any adversity in your life. You can be in
Yeah,
a
yeah, yeah.
broken marriage. You can be in a financial trouble. You can be going through some illness. You can be in I don't know, a depression, problem with your
Mm,
kids. But any situation, if you manage in the proper way, with a proper mindset, and with a positive mindset, and being really hopeful, and again, believing in your inner in spirituality. Because one of
mm,
the things we discover is the inner spirituality. We became truly believers in God. In my case, I'm worshiping every week. Now I belong to a family of in the church that I'm
mm,
assisting, a senior citizens families. They were going there with my wife, and that was for me. Because they had to have a meaning. I discovered they had to have a meaning. You went through
mm,
this situation for some reason, so that's why
mhm.
I'm now trying to help others with this. So what I'm
That's
doing is
right.
trying to. I have been talking on this. That people can go to my newsletter, and they can read my previous newsletter. I have been talking a lot of this. I invite the people to go there and read them. Read them. And I have videos also, because I'm putting videos and newsletter to try to educate people about this. So
Yeah,
we're
and I'm
going,
hoping.
because tonight, tonight we are recording today, but tonight is going to be an event in LinkedIn Live where I'm going to be talking extensively also about this, because I'm trying to educate people.
That's right. That's it. I know,
This is what
Jose. This. I hope this one could reach a lot of audience and people also, because really people are just thinking that this could not happen to us. This could not happen to anyone. But at least you were able to spread the words and also educate people. And I hope it would reach a lot of people, especially here in our country, here in Philippines. People are very like I must say that some people are not very much educated about it. They don't know a lot about this. And if they were able to hear this one or listen to our conversation, and I hope they will be able to share this to their friends also, because this is something very helpful. Like, look what happened. This is the scariest story that you've shared. Like, I'm always like opening my mouth because I cannot believe that this is happening to someone. I thought this is just happening in movies, like all those things that we see on TV, but this happened to you personally, but you were able to survive this.
I can tell you, Ivan. Nobody's prepared for this. I
Mm,
I had in my previous life, I believe was a wonderful life. I had a wonderful career.
that's right. You were,
I never had no problem, and I never.
mm,
And I was ready to get retired. I was ready to get retired. I'm a oil and gas consultant, so I was having
mm,
my wonderful life. And when this happened, the first thing that you say, "This is not happening to me. This is a mistake. This is wrong."
mm,
But when you realize what is the situation, you can the human being can go in two directions. You can go in a direction to feel like a victim and decide to get depressed. That's why people commit suicide.
that,
Or you decided to overcome the situation and succeed and be successful, and go to be a better person. That's what I decided to do. So now I'm in that path. I'm not saying that I'm perfect. I'm saying
that's
that
true.
I'm path, and now I understand what is my new mission. Now
Yeah,
I understand that this is something that can be something that can help others, and well, I'm trying to work in that direction right now. I think it's like a call.
that's right. That's right. So I just have another follow up, Jose. Before we're going to go through the next question. For the time that you were in prison with the rest of the member of your of the company that you work with, what comes into your mind? Was it really like I wanted to call my family right away when you were in prison, or Did you, as what you mentioned, you try to communicate with your wife? Is it also the same with the rest of your colleagues or your coworkers? Did they also think about their family too much?
Yeah, yeah. One of the things that I believe that there's something like God in the middle of this, because the six of us were are guys that with long term marriage,
Mm.
kids they love, and have wonderful family. So the six, all of the six. So that made us in the position that we really believe that everything was the family. So all of us were fighting for the family. So the family was everything
Were
to.
were were they able to also contact their wives? Let's say, for example, you did a little trick, like a very risky trick that you do in order to communicate and send message to your wife. Were some of your coworkers able to do it also?
Yes, yes.
Wow.
At some point, they when they saw that I was doing that, I told them also to do it. So we were literally all of us doing that. So it was funny.
Nice.
It was really funny because in the night everybody was writing, the letter of the day. I
Uh-huh.
was more. I was like very every day I was doing it. The others
Uh-huh.
maybe were not doing it every day, but because in my mind I decided to do it because I truly believe that was going to become my book. I was in my mind that I was going to write my book, so that's why I did it in that way. I was thinking always in my book. So what I did is I was writing what I was feeling in that moment. When
Mm-hmm.
I'm talking with my editor, and my editor keeps crying all the time when she's reading it, and she said that my book has too much, too much energy inside, and I tell her because it's what I was feeling in that moment. So
Nice.
I throw all my feelings in that moment. So that's why
Mm-hmm.
the book is gonna have that intensity.
Wow, wow. That's a very, very brave story. So, um, actually, we'll jump over to the first like major question that I have. Then we'll go over to our audience question after this. So, I know there are other victims. Well, let's say like people who are wrongfully detained as well. The same situation that you have. The same that you were in, Jose. Do you have any message or do you have something to tell them to encourage the moment that they were still in prison, or those people that are really trying to give up already?
Well, I can tell you now that we're part of this campaign, the Bring Your Family campaign. This was a really a game changer in the situation because all the family decided to stay together. By the way, I invite your audience. They can Google it. We have a mural in Washington D.C. with our
Mm-hmm.
face, my face, and other guys' faces, included a face of a famous basketballist that she was detained in Russia, Brittany Griner. She's there also, and
Who? Sorry, sorry.
Brittany Griner.
Oh,
Brittany
I
Griner.
know her. She's a basketball player
Yeah,
from the WNBA.
yeah, yeah. She's part of our campaign. By the way, she's
Nice,
now the face of our campaign. She's the ambassador of our campaign right now.
nice, nice.
Yeah, she and her wife did a lot of advocacy for the campaign, and by the way, she's now supporting the campaign with her team is sponsoring the campaign. So
Nice,
we're gonna unveil another mural now in July 4 here in Houston. So we're working for that to unveil a
nice.
second one here in Houston. But now we are talking with all the families, and that has been great because now they feel like that they have support. So my message to
Mm,
somebody that goes through this situation, they had the support of the campaign, and there are wonderful foundations that now are advocating also for that situation. There is, I can name like four very strong foundations. One is the Richardson Center. It's a
mm-hmm.
former governor of Arizona, Bill Richardson, and Mickey Berman. They are wonderful supporting. There's another foundation called Hosted USA that give a lot of psychological, legal, physical support uh, during and after you come back. And there is a foundation called the Foley Legacy Foundation, for the James Foley Legacy Foundation, wonderful
Mm-hmm.
foundation. There is another one, Hosted Aid Worldwide. So there are several foundations that now are
Mm-hmm.
support. So the people are not left behind, because in the past, the
Mm,
people got lost, the family got lost. You know, they had to navigate under the bureaucracy of the government. This is something that I can tell you, families get physical, psychological, logistical, and financially exhausted after this. But I'm back. Okay, well, where we were, sorry, I lost. We were talking about that. Okay, so
the
the
centers that are helping.
yeah, so my recommendations, somebody unfortunately goes to this situation, they have those foundations that they give the support, and they have also the family campaign. And the third recommendation I give is, don't stay silent, go to the press. You know, the medias are very important on this, and today now there are several journalists, they are very aware of the situation. They have been like advocating for this,
Mm,
and these guys are wonderful, supporting families, interviewing them in the TVs, in the radio,
mm,
in newspaper, big newspapers. So they are now big supporters. Our family has direct connection with them right now, and the media is key in this, because some years ago the media didn't know how to handle this, because
that's true.
sometimes the people tend to think, that guy was doing something wrong, that's why he went to jail.
Yeah,
They
yeah,
don't
they
realize
always
that
say that because they were in
everything always
prison.
is fake. It
Mm,
always is fake. Always are sham trials, because the only thing they want to do is keep you in jail, to trade for you, to negotiate for you. You
mm,
become a pawn, a bargain chip. They see you like a figure, something that they will. Sometimes they don't know what they're gonna take from you, so they keep you there, only waiting for the moment that they can negotiate for you. So you
mm,
become a truly pawn. And that's why now the press that is aware about the situation, they're talking more loudly on this. And in my particular case, I became a voice of the as a former hostage, that I'm talking in all the audience that I can about this. And now I have my social medias and my LinkedIn newsletter, where I'm talking every week about this. I'm trying to educate as much as possible people related to this topic.
mm-hmm. Yeah, I guess that's really, really helpful also, especially to those have the same experience and are really losing their hope already. And I hope really that this will be able to reach a lot of people. So now I'll be jumping off. I'm overwhelmed because I posted that I will be interviewing a father with a very unique story for this Father's Day. I'm overwhelmed that there are a lot of questions that are being sent out to me, but I was able to filter it out with three best questions that are being sent out. So, first question that I have: being a father, Jose, would you agree, or for you, is it easier when you become a father that your kids were getting, or you become older? When your kids become older, fatherhood becomes easier. Also, is that true for you? Would you agree?
No, in my case, no. I can tell you, I, I lost my father when I was 14. But my
Ah,
father, even I lost him when I was 14. My father left to me a strong legacy, and I try to transmit it to my kids. And now that I see they are grown up, they are married, and they have their own kids that are my grandson, and I see how they are educating their kids, the way they treat their wife, the love they express. I'm
mm,
so happy. I'm so happy that I gave the legacy,
wow.
because and the proof of this is that what they did for me during 5 years, you know,
Mm,
they couldn't have said, hey, this is your problem, mom. No,
mm,
they put their life in pause because of me. So I don't have more than gratitude for them. and,
yeah,
and,
I
and it's
think.
not and it's not been easy. Let me tell you, it's not been easy, because when I came back, for me, it was like coming in a time machine, because I lost 5 years. So now
Mm,
I saw my grandson, when one of my grandson born when I was in jail. The first time I saw him was when I was landed in San Antonio. when I was landed and I was stepping out from in the tarmac from the airplane. I saw a tiny guy running to me, and they said, "This is my grandson." So he
Mm-mm.
recognized me because he had been seeing me in photos, and then he recognized me, begin running. And my other grandkids, they were in Colombia. They stayed almost 5 years in Colombia. They came back to the U.S. in January after I came back, and now they are big, grown up. And,
Mm.
it's like a time machine. So I'm really how to be with them. But the truth of everything is that we as father, we will
Mm.
always be with our kids. Even if they're grown up, if they have family, they will be always our kids. Always.
That's right. I think the reason also say that your kids are very good and very helpful to you when the situation is very like crazy when you were in prison, because you've also done very very good things to them. That's, I think, if you're doing good things to the world, it would also come back to you like multiple times, double, triple times, because they see how you were doing to them or the things that you've done to them. That's the reason why they were also doing their best to help you out. Because if you are not a good father for them, then they will just say, ah, that's your problem. Probably that's me, that's my idea. Because if you have done very good things to your kids, they would also look up to you, they would also be very helpful to you in the future, especially because you become older in the future. It's not that you will become younger in the future, you become older, but seeing them that you treat them well, you are very good as a father to them, that's the reason why they were also helping you. That's my take. That's why your kids are also very very lucky to have you.
And it's funny, Ivan, because they always are complaining with me because when I begin to do this advocacy, I've been working a lot. I, I have been non-stop. Okay, I, they are always complaining. Dad, you have to take care of yourself. So, but I know that they're doing because they love me. Okay,
Yeah, yeah.
they are loving me and they love me so much. And sometimes they say the things to me because they love me, and I can tell you I'm lucky
Mm,
to have them because I you know, their father. They're my kids. I'm a father. I'm not gonna say it's easy because they grow. They have their own personality.
mm.
They have their own life, but at the end, you put the legacy there, and I
That's
think
right, that's right.
that's important.
Mhm. So I think you were able to answer really well, and thank you, Jose, for answering the first question. I'll move on to the second question from our audience, which is, do you ever feel pressured to live up to your children's or your child's expectation? Of course, as a young kids, we always have like the idea that our father is like the Superman. We love our father so much because they're like superheroes to us. That's me when I was young. That's how I view my father. And do you feel pressured when we see that this is what I look for my father? Do you feel like you are pressured that your kids are seeing you that, or do you feel more encouraged to do better?
Well, I think there is a mix of both because
Mm,
eh, eh, I was always so involved trying to care of them, but at the same
mm-hmm,
time, because of my work, because one of the wrong thing I did in the past that I became a workaholic. I was working
mm,
15, 20 hours a day, and I had a crazy style of work because I had like 3 or 4 offices all over the world, always
mm-hmm,
was traveling, and at some point you begin to miss your family because but
mm.
you love them, but you're missing it at the same time. So, and this is something that I learned that the people have to not to do it. The people have to have balance in life.
That's
One of
right.
the things that today I learned that you need to have balance in life. The other day something funny happened with me because I'm quite new in this is of social medias. Okay, I opened my LinkedIn account barely like months ago.
Mm-hmm.
When opened the LinkedIn account, I saw a famous lady that talking about that she's a workaholic and that she's famous, and I saw her post and I answered to him. I came and say, hey, do you think you're lucky? You're not lucky, my friend. You have to stop. You have to take care. And you know, when I made that questionnaire of her post,
Uh-huh.
she received a lot of complaints that she had to change her position because that's not good. That people cannot be
Oh.
saying that they're lucky because they're a workaholic. That's not good. You
Mm.
need balance in life. So
That's
so
true. That's true.
and the family is important.
That's right. That's right. I believe in that one as well, Jose. I just wanted to say more or piggyback of what you've said. Like I believe what you've said that you need to have a work life balance because when I was working in the office, I also worked in a company before I became a mother of my 3-year-old son. I've been working and working and working a lot. Like I almost forgot how to take a break, how to be with my family over the weekends, and I realized that's never really good because at the end of the day you will go back to your family and they're the first person who will support you of whatever happens to you. The reason why I stopped like being really workaholic that time because I was hospitalized, and when I was in the hospital because I had like a massive acid reflux, I feel like I cannot breathe anymore, but it's
Okay.
just because I have a lot of acids that are in my stomach that goes like really I have to vomit every now and then I realized that the only person that helped me is my family member. It was my brother, and then my mother came in and my father came in. And I'm not saying against that I don't have any friends in the office, but it's really your family all the time.
Well, let me tell you, Ivan, you're so true that when you see my program, my Life Field for Surviving Guide, the point number three is that stick with your family. When you're
Mm,
in adversity, the only they're going to support you is your family. And that
that's
is true.
true.
I'm not saying that you cannot have friends. You can have
That's true. That yeah,
but when
yeah.
you go into a severe adversity and it lasts long in the time, the
Mm,
only person that are going to stay with you is your loved ones. And I can tell you, sometimes family are disconnected, maybe
mm,
having issues, whatever.
mm.
But when something wrong comes, the family is there. I had the
True.
experience in when this situation happened to me. My family couldn't go there, but
Mm,
one I had two cousins that were I had long time without no seeing them, and
mm,
they when they called my wife and said, "Hey, we want to go to visit Jose," and let me tell you, they kept visiting almost 1 year.
mm,
And now we are friends, and we call of other. I got surprised that we were not close, but they decided to become close to me. It was my family, and
that's
and
true.
and, and, and even that my family couldn't go there. They were supporting me so hard,
Mm,
with all that is inimaginable. All the
that's
logistics that my family did to put all my foods, all the medicine, everything that I never had nothing. Because when I begin to recover myself and I
mm,
begin to have my treatment because I had some blood pressure issues and something with the sugar, by the way, then now I have
mm,
control. I have control because I went through, a severe treatment to be controlled there. And once I learned that every time I needed something, only asking the other day or 2 days after the things were there, I said, wow, my family is doing so great. They were
yeah,
supporting
yeah.
so hard that it's unimaginable all the effort they did for me.
That's right. That's right. So since we're talking about the expectations, Jose, and you've mentioned you've answered the second question, I will jump right away to our last question from the audience, which is, um, as a father, is there something that from your experience of being a father, that you would like to change, or is there no change at all for
No, no,
you?
the change, definitive, yes, 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 yes. Because as I said in the past, I was a workaholic. Even I love so
Mm,
kids. Sometimes I didn't take care of them because I was always working. So you cannot buy your kids only with money or with material things. They need love.
mm,
So in my case, my daughter, that is the youngest one, but that time I was totally screwed up with my work, and I never
mm,
saw her. So when we came here to the U.S., was the opportunity that I could recuperate her, and now we're in that process. Sticking together again, because they are here with me in Houston, and I'm fortunate about that. But one of the messages to the audience is that you have to have balance. You have to take care
Mm,
of your family. You have to
that's
need
true.
to have balance.
That's true. I agree with that. So, we're about to be done with this one, Jose. I just have like three questions. Like, really, this is just a fast talk. I just have to agree or disagree with this one. I got this one from the internet, so it's something true or false for you, and then like give your 1 or 2 minutes reason why you agree or disagree with this one. So this is
Okay,
something. Some of these are really funny because I just get this from the internet. So we
okay.
just have to agree or disagree. Okay. First one is that dads does not know how to babysit. Do you agree on this one?
No, no, no. And let me tell you, well, I'm a 60-year-old guy that in my back in my days, typically we didn't do too much babysitting with the kids. It was not so
Uh-huh.
common. But today I see my sons. They are
Oh.
they change diapers. They give
Oh
food to the
wow.
kids. They take care. Their wives go with their friends and they can take care of them. No, no. The new generations are great babysitting. Are great. The things
Wow.
are changed a lot. No,
That's
no.
a very good that's a very good thing to know, Jose. So I'll jump over to the second one right away. So the second stereotype or something that I see from the internet is that fathers are only there for the fun part. The
No,
difficult part, that's not for the father. Would you agree? Disagree?
no, disagree. No,
Okay.
that's not the case. And I can tell you, maybe, unfortunately, there are many fathers they are not taking care of their kids like they should. But I know a lot of wonderful fathers. Wonderful.
Mm,
I can tell you, my colleagues that were with me, I can say that the six of us, all of us were wonderful. I heard their
nice.
kids talking about their kids, the way they love their kids, everything the kids were doing. Let me tell you that the Bringer Family Foundation was created by our kids. What are kids? My son,
Mm,
the son of the other, the daughter, the niece, the cousin, the uncle. So we're the family. So this is
yeah.
a campaign created by the family. Why the family is supporting their family? Because they love one. They love.
Mm. That's what you call unconditional love. So I'll go ahead with the last one that I have, Jose, because we need to also wrap up. Maybe you also have something to do, but this is the last one, I promise. So this is the last that I've seen from the internet, that fatherhood is all about being tough to your kids. Would you agree, or do you also have your soft side to your kids or your grandsons?
You, I believe that you have to have a little of both because even
Mm.
kids at some point you have to be tough. You know,
Mm-hmm.
I learned that, for example, as I told you, I lost my father when I was 14. But
Mm-hmm.
remember, he's a strong legacy. He always said that the man has to be like a ship navigating in the sea and leaving the waves.
Wow,
Okay?
that's
He always that was his say always. The man has to be like a ship in the sea navigating and leaving the wake. The wake is the legacy. So that for
wow.
me became like an anthem. And
Mm,
it was a 14 years. I grew up with that in here, and I transmitted that to my kids, and my kids are transmitting to my grandsons. And my grandsons, I love them too much, but sometimes they can get weird. So I say, hey, so that is the. So you have to have your moments.
mm,
Because that is part of your legacy. You have to be the model, but at some point, if they're doing something that is not good, you have to be strong. But you have to have your also your soft side. So you have to
that's
be
right.
the balance of both.
Perfect, perfect. Thank you very much, Jose. I really have like a very wonderful conversation with you, and I'm very excited to share this one to the audience once we are done. So I guess just to wrap up everything, Jose, do you have like a message, maybe a short message to our fathers who've been struggling, who've been really like becoming hopeless, and also for those fathers who are thinking that they are doing things incorrectly. Do you have any message for them before we're going to end our episode today?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, because as I said, I'm trying to help people under adversity, and this can come to their fathers and the mothers. They are at the same time they are fathers because I'm mother. They are father at the same time. So,
Mm,
so, so sometimes they feel hopeless, and sometimes they feel that they're going through a situation that they will not go through it. And I can tell
Mm,
you, you can always survive any situation. You can always do it because the way we handle, you can survive any situation. And we are proof of life. We are the proof of the concept. And
that's right.
the way we're trying to transmit the message to the people. And again, we're gonna having our book very soon. We're gonna have the program very soon. We're gonna be doing public speaking on this very soon. We're
Mhm.
preparing all this because we believe that this is something that is a message that we want to spread it as much as possible in the people, because
That's right. That's right.
the people need hope. The people
Mm.
need faith, and I have a new motto that is never lose the faith, never lose the hope, never give up. That's my new motto.
Nice, nice. So, since I have, you were able to answer wonderfully and so kind about the questions that are being thrown from the audience. So, as the questions that I have for you, Jose, last, sorry, last thing, do you have anything to plug? Do you have upcoming, probably, events that you want the audience to also know?
Yeah, maybe because today is we're recording when they hear this. Today I'm gonna have a big event in San Nicolas Live, but it's gonna be recorded. So if they
Mm,
hear it today, they can go and record it. We're gonna continue with a newsletter in LinkedIn. Where the book is gonna be maybe in 2 or 3 months outside. We're working hard with
uh-huh.
the editor at this moment. We are also working with a Canadian producer for a docu series that is in the process.
Oh,
As I said, we're launching our coaching and our public speaking program.
nice.
We're gonna launch it maybe in 1 month. So we're working hard on all this direction, and everything we're posting in LinkedIn. And in LinkedIn also we're gonna be in our going to our sorry LinkedIn, our link tree. In our link tree, you can go in our link tree. They
Mm-hmm.
post all the social media, and is a blog where I'm gonna be giving hints about the book. Talking,
Mm.
and there's gonna be coming a lot of things related to my experience that now I want to put outside of the way that we can help people.
Nice, nice. So, again, from the bottom of my heart, Jose, I'm really thankful that you were able to accept the invitation that I've sent out. And I'm very happy I was able to talk to someone with the most unique experience. Like, I cannot really imagine with the experience that you've had, but you were able to survive and become stronger with the experience that you had when you were in prison. So, I hope do you have anything else to add, Jose? I'm already done. I'm very, very thankful for your time.
Say the audience that don't see, because the message. I don't want the people get the message wrong.
Mm-hmm.
This is a process. It's hard. I'm not
Mm,
saying it's easy. I'm not a Superman. I'm not
mm,
a guru, because people say, "Hey, who are you to be talking about this?" I'm not a guru. I'm a survivor. I'm a
that's true.
survivor that I'm talking through my experience. I came with a strong experience in my past life as an executive. So I'm trying to put all my experience to help others right now. This is my new mission. But the people have to understand that this is a process.
That's
You have
right. That's right.
proper mindset. You have to
Mm,
be in a positive mindset. You have to try to be focused in the situation. You have to be stick with your family, and you have
mm,
to try to look in your spirituality, because this is something that's gonna make you strengthen your hope and your faith. So if
mm.
you put all these tools together, you can overcome things. You can.
Wow, wow. That's a very, very great lesson that you have imparted in this episode, Jose. And I would like to thank you for everything that you have done, especially in helping out the people who also need education when it comes to this matter and are not very familiar when it with this field.
Fathers, they are God's gift to us, and they are our best buddies and our number one protector too. I hope you share this episode to your friends. Thank you for watching. This has been Bits and Pieces, Ginagmay o Binago. Like, subscribe, and share this episode. Spread love, spectacular people.